Happy Sunday morning. We're going to have 5 videos today because we have Market Watch, then we have a duel, then we have another duel, then we have the next day of Christmas at 5. So literally 11 to 6 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. What a day. All right. So, Brute Enforcer from the Link VRains set. We have 2 effect monsters. Oh boy, and he's generic. Ooh, I wish we could eat tokens with him, but okay. So 2 effect monsters, bottom left, bottom right, best link arrows that we could actually make for this guy. So you can discard 1 card from hand, target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, destroy that target. Your opponent can negate this effect by discarding 1 card as the same type as that face-up monster. Spell, trap, or monster. Okay, so first up, generic Link 2 that lets me discard a card to target a face-up card and make my opponent discard the same type to protect that card. I don't really like the fact that they said, this is too broken. We need to limit this effect by making the opponent discard. Why did they do this? Are we power checking the nightmares 100 years later? Because I don't know. This isn't that great. But generic Cyverse Link 2, yeah, I can get behind that. I think that is something honestly worth betting on. So, TLDR on this, 2 effect monsters, making my opponent discard. How much do we really care about my opponent destroying a card or discarding a card at this point? I guess the destruction effect is pretty good for a Link 2. And if my opponent ends on a not hand, or if my opponent needs to, if they have a hand trap, I guess I could try to bait it out. But I guess that's like the only scenario that I can really think on in that case that would really come up for that. Right, guys? Next up, we have some interesting news. God Gearfried. All right. So I already see that we have equip cards with this. And you know how I feel about the equip archetype, right? We could have made Noble Knights so good as a deck, and we yeeted that possibility out the door. But he's 3022, and he's level 9, alright. So you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. So you can banish 1 equipped card you control, or from your graveyard. Oh, thank you. This is from the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. Wait a minute here. If I go into a Sold, and I use this effect and drop a bunch of equips into the graveyard, I can banish it and just special summon this guy from my hand as a 3000 extender. Alright, if this card attacks, at the start of the damage calculation, you can equip 1 face-up monster on the field to this card as an equip spell card. With this effect, he gains 500 attack, so I can, when he attacks, so I go into Assault once again. I attack with the Assault, I go into this, off of that, equip the Assault to this, make this a 3500 body, okay. When a monster activates its effect, you can send 1 face-up equip card you control to the graveyard to negate that activation, and if you do, destroy this card. This is good! This is really good! Holy, alright. So, man, they are really making me want to... I really hope... Because this does strike the possibility of new equip cards coming out, which means... new possibilities. I really hope those equip cards are good. And the fact that I can pop an equip card equipped to him? 3500 body with a built-in negation. That seems pretty good. They made him so easy to summon. I like that. This is a good increase for the deck, actually. Alright. Next up, we have Light Dragon at Ignister. Or the Ignister archetype. Now, for those of you that don't know, Ignister is the new archetype that is seeing play in the anime. Spoiler alert, now that Ai has gone evil, this is his archetype. This is what we're going to see him be playing. I think this is pretty cute. So, Light Dragon Ignister. So, it is 2 level 4s, Light, Cyverse, Xyz. Okay, so you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. So you can detach a material from this card, destroy face-up monsters your opponent controls up to the number of Ignister monsters that you control. Alright, that's pretty good. When another Cyverse monster you control inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon 1 Link monster from your graveyard. Talk about an insane extender here, alright? So your opponent's just destroying you all game. You're like, oh, this isn't going real well. Well, that's fine, because we get to go ahead and revive by inflicting damage. I love how it has to be another one, but that's fine. And then if a monster or monsters you control be destroyed by an effect, you can detach an Xyz material from this card instead. And that's not a once per turn. So you get a built-in protection. You get the ability to revive a Link monster from the graveyard, by the way. And I can destroy face-up monsters my opponent controls up to the number of Ignister monsters that I control. Fantastic support card. I really like how they're taking advantage of Xyz monsters, giving them actual good effects, because we've power crept a lot of this format. I think that this is a really good way to go. I like this a lot, actually. So I'm looking forward to seeing what a lot of the other Ignister support is going to do in the game for the most part. Now, we have, this was pretty interesting, this thing right here. 10,000 cards released in the game. So we made a card called 10,000 Dragon. And this looks really cool, by the way. It's got 10,000 down here, and it's just cool. But 10,000 Dragon, it's level 10, dark, and it's question mark. Cannot be normal, summon, or set. Must be first special from the hand by tributing monsters you control, whose combined attack and combined defense are 10,000 or more each. This card cannot be special summoned in other ways. And then this card's attack and defense become 10,000. The card 10,000 is a secret rare, a new commemorative rarity, as Ignition Assault will surpass the 10,000 card mark. This is cool. I like this. Now, this card's not going to see play. That's fine. We don't really care about that. But we have 10,000 cards in the game that we all know and love. Huge step in the right direction. I know a lot of the player base is excited to have this moment. And once again, kudos. We've done it. I don't think I've seen a game that has 10,000 legal cards and still successful to this day. Good job, Konami. It means a lot. Now, backburner with some important stuff here. Alright, and I recommend not dipping out here. Alright, so we got the Dragon Maid art. So this is Dragon Maid Neskari. We have no effect yet. We don't have anything, but they are milking this archetype for all that it's worth. Especially if you're peeping out art like this, the player base is paying attention. The player base is like, uh-oh, what's going on? Like, you can tell that this is the supposedly good archetype out of this deck, and they want the player base to be excited for this. So I'm supposed to be excited. So I'm happy for that. Now, what I'm really excited about, we got Charmer support. We got Charmer. Oh, actually, we have Charmer sleeves. So what you see here is, yeah, Charmer sleeves, ladies and gentlemen. These look beautiful. Each element is going to get their own sleeves. And personally, I think water and dark look the best. Earth, I mean, it's Earth. Okay, Shattering Rocks is okay. But, I don't know, guys. I'm not a super big fan of this, per se. Now, we also got a release schedule for this. And things I can tell you about this. One, Link VRains is reaching its climax, which a lot of the player base is scared about the next Master Rule. If we're even going to get a Master Rule, they could continue to build on this, which is understandable. Now, with that being said, what is this? That is Link VRains Pack 3, slated for 11/23/2019. Do you know how excited I am for way more cards I'm not going to get the chance to get? There will be more out on this later. I would pay attention to this a lot because this is pretty big. Seeing this broken down this way, seeing that we have structure decks coming around the corner, seeing product information God Gearfried here, yeah, there's a lot coming, literally. This is a lot, especially when the TCG goes to adjust this. And what's happening here, there's a lot to see. So buckle up. Of course, you know the ride never ends. But are you guys excited? What support do you want out of Link VRains Pack 3? It means more new Link monsters and a whole new attitude, guys. The situation. I can't wait. Guys, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.